Got another good one for you today. Running the bus, picking up a couple kids, another adult for church this morning. And the Lord hit me with this thought, and I try to just run with it when He gives them to me. I'm not always obedient. Seems He lets me do a lot of these videos while I'm driving, hands-free, let it sit there, let me run with these thoughts. And then later on, make a more dignified teaching setting type of video. But today, what is masculinity? What is masculinity? And this is so prevalent today. Man, definitely the last 10 years, this whole thing, it's wicked. Not knowing what your gender is, transgender, and sodomy, and homosexuality, and all that stuff, and sleeping with animals. I mean, it's gross. Pedophiles. Now they're wanting to make pedophiles a protected group. And why not make pedophiles a protected group? It's all a perversion. So if you're going to protect the LGBTQ community and their sinful lifestyle, I was born this way. Why can't you protect the pedophile who says I was born this way? And that's their reasoning. Why not? Why not protect the serial killer? I was born this way. This is what makes me happy. See, people just, and it's just going to get worse and worse. But let me quit digressing and focus on masculinity. And Jordan Peterson said it, that it is necessary. It is necessary. Just because the world and our government wants to redefine definitions, and trust you me, the government has an agenda. The U.S. government has an agenda. The world has an agenda. There is a new world order. The Council of Churches has an agenda, and it's all wicked. It is time to wake up, and I'm a little refreshed from time to time as I see the world who does not claim Christ even seeing the wickedness and ridiculousness of what's trying to be promoted out there. And if you don't know what you are, pull your pants down. There'll be a little thing hanging there that'll let you know if you're male. There won't be a thing hanging there that'll let you know you're a female. Now, we need to quit propagating and being okay with and being silent with this thing. But today, what is masculinity? I'm always going to come from a biblical perspective. I'm always going to come from a Christian worldview. I am always going to come from God's point of view. I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes. But if I stay in the Word and trust God and seek His leadership and want to do it His way, yeah, He'll let us know how to do things. So man is a created being by God Himself. God the Creator made man, the human race. And more specifically, He made man, the male, and lady, the female. Woman. Right? He did it. So, if He is the Creator, it's true about anything on this planet. The inventor of whatever said product is the definer of what that product is and what that product does and what that product's purpose is. God is the inventor of man, therefore He is the definer of man, of masculinity. And God made men beautifully masculine and women beautifully feminine. And it is a beautiful thing. We need to embrace it. And so this term is thrown out, toxic masculinity. And you got to listen with both ears when you hear that stuff, because there is a form of what is called toxic masculinity that is wicked. This browbeaten, bear rule over all that is underneath me, macho jerk type masculinity, is true toxic masculinity. This narcissistic attitude. And I'm telling you what, man, people throw out that term narcissist almost for anybody who is a little bit passionate or disagrees with you. You're just a narcissist. So you need to be careful who's saying that term. But there truly is narcissists. There truly are narcissist men. There truly are narcissist women. There truly are narcissist people in church. There truly are narcissist men behind the pulpit. So we need to be careful. But real masculinity is not toxic masculinity. It is a beautifully, wonderfully created thing by God of heaven. Men are to have masculine traits. So just off the top, for every man ever born, okay, you're going to have a deeper voice than women, as a rule. You're going to have bigger muscles as a rule. You're going to be stronger physically as a rule. Alright? You're going to have facial hair as a rule. You're going to have drive and ambition to go out and conquer things. Okay? There's not going to be any question when people look at you that you're a man. And I'm going to hit on one right now. Long hair is not manly. Now, there are some men out there that have long hair, but I'm telling you, men that have long hair are not as manly as they could be. Okay? It's a manly distinctive to have short hair, a feminine distinctive to have long hair. Long and short are relative, but if you look at history, you get a pretty good understanding of what long hair and short hair is. And women as a whole didn't have a problem with this. Okay, but we get more and more wicked, and men didn't have a problem with this. There's a whole history lesson behind all this. And even today, feminist women will tell you, I've seen it multiple times, yeah, they might be the domineering woman out there in the workforce, but when they come home, they want a man. And they're sick and tired of these pussyfoot men, and became pussyfoot men because of you in their life. Now, they want a man, to be a man, to lead them, to tell them no, to pick them up physically, and to dominate them in a good, respectful, loving way. So let me just kind of end with this, masculine. I am not the epitome of man, and we have to have in our head that you not got to be macho, you not got to be chiseled. You don't have to have the best body and the biggest muscles. And I'm telling you, a lot of them bodybuilders aren't manly. I'm telling you, that is not the definition of man. I'd almost say most of those men who do all the bodybuilding stuff, especially the ones who do all the roids, they're not manly men. They're a lot, and listen, to be a man, you're moral. You're moral. You're not sleeping around. You married one woman, you slept with that one woman. Hey, you made mistakes in the past, you've given those things to Christ, you got forgiveness, you're living on, but you're a moral man. And as long as we try to define what masculinity is, separate from what God says it is, I mean, we'll get so far and be okay, but we'll never be all that we're supposed to be as men if we take God out of the equation. And a lot of men are men, and they're doing godly principles. They're being who God made them to be. And they're not acknowledging God. They don't recognize that they're living the way God created them. But they are. But you'll never be all the man you're supposed to be when you do it without God. So let me just help you, encourage you if you're confused, because we got programs that'll help you. We we've got coaching programs and books that, you can comment on and ask about. But I try to give good stuff out here for free on these sites because I just want to help people. So if you're confused or at all about what masculinity is, let me try to help you. If you got a high voice, I'm not talking about a naturally higher pitched voice, because you need to be who God made you to be. And if you have a naturally higher voice, that's fine. But there have been men that have been raised by mom and raised with sisters, and through the years they've taken on some feminine qualities, and some of that is in their mannerisms and in their voice. All right? I'd start working on having a deeper voice. Just start training your voice to talk a little deeper. Look at your mannerisms. Are they manly mannerisms, or they got an effeminate quality about them? And start deliberately changing that. When people scare you and you scream and it's a high-pitched scream, work on try to scream a little more manly. Okay, these are just things to practice. All right? But accept who you are in God, acknowledge God, but also recognize these things and just seek His face and see if there's anything that you need to work on, because we all have a history. We all have things that have made us and defined us, and probably over half of those things are wrong things that have defined us and made us, and it's up to us, by God's grace, to correct those things. But God did not make you an effeminate man. You may have learned that and acquired that through the years, but that's not God's will for you. And He did not make women to be more butch. That's not God's will. So let's just be true, masculine, Christian men. And listen, I can help. My stuff can help you. God's going to help you, whether you want to acknowledge God or not. But if you get help from me, it's always going to be pointed back to God. Pointed back to you giving your life to Christ. But anyway, I hope that helps. You can call or text 970-697-0232. Email chrishuffman513@gmail.com. We'll try to help you any way you can. Keep your eyes on Him.